Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime. Hello, everyone. I hope that you missed us.
Yikes.
Sorry about that. Life has been lifing, and we just have so much going on. You already know, yo me llamo Bárbara Tragedias, aka everything happens to me, literally. And
It's just been tough.
It's been rough.
The past, 5 weeks maybe?
Yeah, maybe even more. I'm not going to lie. It's been kind of rough, and we've both been struggling with our own thing going on, and then we're both like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to sit down. And I don't think it's more of the actual sitting down to record because
that's the easy part.
That's the easy part because that's what we're doing now. We're just going to record and kind of go over some things that we've recently seen, but it's more of a sitting down and deep diving into these cases that are it's like sometimes you're not mentally prepared for that.
Yeah.
And I think that both of us were not mentally prepared for some of those things. And we're getting better.
Yeah.
And we're working on everything. And I have a rash. I'm telling you, yo no valgo ni una verga. Okay. So I ended up with the rash. I have no idea que me hizo daño. I have no idea what it is, where it came from.
At first, we thought it was something you ate, right?
So back in
It was
March,
for your birthday.
No, it was my son's birthday.
Yeah.
So on the day of his birthday, I bought him a small cake, and you came over, and we ate cake, right?
Yeah.
I ate pizza that day, but the same pizza that I eat fucking
all the time,
the exact same order, like nothing is different.
Yeah.
So the next day I wake up, estoy toda así, and then I was like, Stella, look what happened, and you were like, oh my gosh, what happened? So then finally,
oh wait, this rash is on her face and her neck
and my neck.
Yes.
So then at this point I'm like, okay, I get to work and they give me a shot, so I'm good, right? Se me va quitando, whatever. A whole month goes by. April went by. Everything. My birthday went by. Everything.
Up until like last week.
Mind you, I just ate pizza, the same pizza, everything.
Yeah.
I didn't eat any more cake because I'm thinking something had to be
with the cake.
By the way, the cake was amazing, so I'm kind of glad that I'm not. It wasn't the cake. It was a cake.
Yeah.
So then on Friday, I go eat Chili's with my coworkers on my lunch break. Now, mind you, I buy the exact same thing. I had water to drink. I had the chips and the salsa.
Did you hear that they're closing Chili's down?
Yes. I don't know what their drinks look so amazing. I don't know.
I like Chili's. I'm not saying we go there all the time, but I like Chili's.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But so anyway. Then I'm eating lunch, had the same lunch meal that we buy from the same place that's around the corner, ate it, went back to work. Everything was fine. We were about to go for drinks. Estela, my brother-in-law, and my husband, we were going to go watch the Astros play. And I tell Stella something is wrong with my face. I can tell. And so then I'm driving home and I'm like, this is not okay. But I'm trying to ignore it because I'm like, this is not going to.
Well, it's like, I don't want it to be funny, but I thought it too. And I know they told you. Mm-hmm. But, Barbie's face was pink and then her hair is pink. So it just kind of
like it was all a blend.
Yes.
And everybody was like, oh, it's just your hair is pink. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Como no me he visto la pinche espejo, que I have no idea que estoy rosa, pendeja. Yeah. Anyway, so then we go drinks and everything is fine.
Yeah.
The next day, I'm okay. I'm still kind of a little bit, but it was getting better. That was Saturday. Sunday, everything was good. We went for a walk.
Yeah, but you still kind of, todavía estabas un poquito rosada de la cara.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I was getting better. We went for a walk. I came home.
And your face was fine.
My face was fine. I cooked dinner. We ate, blah, blah, blah. We ate chicken. Dude, like nothing different. And as soon as I got out the shower, I was burning up. And at this point now, I'm feeling like my face is going to fall off. And like my skin is like stretched.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bitch. I start taking pictures of this because I'm like, I'm going to urgent care. Because I don't know what the fuck to do. And I'm pretty much the one that's usually like, no, I can fix it here at home.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be better by tomorrow.
I'm fine. I'll be better. But I was not because like, ya me había echado todo, everything, it was bad. So then next thing you know, I texted my doctor. Thank God that's a good thing about working with doctors is you can ask them. So I send in her the messages and she's like, what did you put on your face? Whoa, skin,
you're like, I don't know.
I use? I'm like, I didn't do anything different. I promise you everything's the same. Send me the ingredients on your skincare. Bro, it's Korean. You can't read that shit. Like, I don't know. And so then I've been using the same Korean skincare for like 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. It's nothing out of the ordinary. But then that's when they told you that it's a stress rash.
So she's like, I think it's a stress rash, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because I've been, once again,
stressed.
very. And so then next thing you know, I'm like, girl, I don't care. Just tell me what to do. My face is going to fall off.
Yeah.
And she's like, start putting this on. And then she's like, take double the Benadryl, whatever. I could not wake up in the morning. And then they texted, my manager was like, hey, somebody's not coming in. And I'm like, bro, I just can't right now. Like, it was horrible. I go to work. I work like that. I feel like shit. Finally, the doctor probably was like, dude, I feel bad for you. Give her a shot. So they gave me a shot. And now it's still there. But he told me that basically what he's saying is because now I realized that I was hinchada, like I was swollen. Pero I didn't know that. I thought I was just fat. And so then I'm like, no, there's no way. He's like, no, you were swollen.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, apparently, so
and
my
then fell
skin,
the way down to her neck.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, dude, this is not okay. Like, I'm so flaky because he said that the element of outside and the skin stretching, it probably broke like the whatever it is.
The epidermis.
And I can't really put anything on it because
you're
I'm
just
scared.
supposed to wash it just with water.
Yeah, y como tengo miedo. And right now, no me da comezón, so I'm okay.
But now it just looks like, it's not on your neck anymore. No. It's just literally like on your chin. That's where it's the most, como que quemó casi.
Yeah, casi, ándale.
Yes.
That's what I told my sister. I'm like, I feel like a skin burn.
Yeah.
Like not a skin burn, a sunburn.
You know, I put Savila for everything. I'm like, aloe vera, ponte aloe vera, put aloe vera. Pero Barbie no me hace caso.
Pero no me la trajo.
Pero I was supposed to bring her some y se me olvidó. My bad. I just realized that.
Pero entonces, so right now I'm on meds again. So I was on meds before, now I'm on meds again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When they called me from my other doctor's appointment that my daughter has tomorrow. And apparently they had her fucking date of birth wrong, right? So this had been going on. And so now I'm like, fuck. Now I have to sit on the fucking phone and then I call the insurance like, we can't do nothing. I'm sorry. You have to call your HR
department.
So then I call HR and I'm on the phone with them for an hour because I don't know where the hell I'm calling. And then it was like her birthday was off by one day.
Literally. Like, I don't even know how they got that date. Well, obviously somebody inputted the wrong number.
Said that she told me that the lady from HR, of course she was going to defend herself. She was like, oh no, we just go based on the same thing that you put. I'm like, no, I remember that you have to go back and like adjust it or whatever. Yeah. So whatever. But so today's,
and then we had a tornado last week.
We had a tornado. So apparently the tornado was in Katy area. Severe storm. Cypress. And then, but había winds of up to like more than 100 miles an hour downtown.
Yeah, it like shattered.
Shout out to my brother because he works in one of the downtown. And I know my dad told me because I haven't talked to my brother, but he told me que like, I guess his building no tenía like windows or something.
A friend of mine, she's today, I think because this is Wednesday, so it happened like 6 days ago. Mañana se va a hacer la semana. But she still didn't have light today.
Dude.
Yeah.
People are without lights out here, and it is going to hit 97 tomorrow.
No, when we went out for a walk Sunday...
Dude, I thought I was going to die.
Humidity is insane. It's already... I think yesterday or Monday, no sé qué día, it already felt like 99 degrees outside with the humidity. It's unbearable. So, I mean, the fact that people had no lights, and they were coming... like people were coming from out of state, I think from Oklahoma to help him put back the power lines because se botó una pinche tower and shit. Like it was insane.
The whole fucking tower fell. And like,
just like a line of towers.
I feel like
mangled.
I don't know how to feel about this because, you know, we're pretty like, you know, Dallas and the northern areas, they're used to tornadoes. Like they're used to big ass shits. But I saw the tornado outbreak que había como en Oklahoma and Nebraska y se llevaba las cosas. And I mean, this thing was like 3 miles long and shit. Like these big ass tornadoes y se llevaba like all these houses. And then like here, it was a literal span of like, I don't even know, 10 minutes. And it was 100 miles an hour. Yeah. You imagine these tornadoes that are over there hitting these people. Like, it's insane.
Well, it's Tornado Alley, right? I think that's what it's called.
Well, actually, did you know, fun fact number 199, is that Tornado Alley has actually shifted because of the fact that we have global warming. So instead of it being where it used to be, now it's actually a little bit more east. So I just feel like it was just insane to me.
And that's a lot of people were saying in the news, they're like, how come we weren't prepared for this? But they didn't know either.
We were driving home from work. It was the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not the middle of the day.
It started like, I think by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it was all over the news already. And I wasn't home and you weren't home either.
Mm-mm.
But we were fine, thankfully,
Yeah,
you know. But they did say that I think 8 people died now.
Yeah.
People
8
died.
people. There was a lady, I don't know if you saw this on the news.
That she was trying to move her car para que no le cayera el árbol. And then
Y le cayó el árbol con todo y la señora.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And so apparently they were asking for breast milk or something like that because the baby was only breastfed. So they didn't have any way to give him breast milk.
Insane.
I hope everybody's safe out there. I really don't know what everybody's area was looking like. I know some of the northern areas up here in Houston,
they were really affected.
Like Katy, all of those areas didn't have light. I know, for example, a lot of the clinics that were for my job, we had to answer their phones because they didn't have any lights.
The schools, a lot of schools were
actually, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I saw a lot of the schools that were still trying to go to school because they have to at least finish the year because I think they have to go a certain amount of days for them to be able to finish the cycle. Mm-hmm. And they were like at school with no lights. The kids were like writing estaba caliente. I felt so bad.
Yeah, because that happened Thursday. Did school cancel Thursday or did it cancel the next
Friday?
Friday,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It canceled Friday. So my kids are in a weird zone.
Yeah.
So where it actually hit was a little bit further down. Mm-hmm. But since we're zoned weirdly,
different,
they did not go to school on Friday, which I feel like they never go. But no, straight up.
That's another conversation that we have. I'm like, kids nowadays do not go to school for shit nowadays. I'm like, you guys have days off for everything. Yeah. We barely had any days off in school.
You would have to be literally burning up.
No, y también for Thanksgiving week, you know how they now have the whole week? We never had the whole week. I think we just had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, I remember that. I know everybody else remembers that. But for sure, it was insane. So I hope everybody's safe out there. We did complete our 2-year anniversary. I think we talked about that last time on.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, we thought it was in May, but it's actually April 30th.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 He's going to shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
I don't know. We're not very good podcasters, if you can't tell.
Yeah. We need assistance.
We need assistance. But we did change our
logo.
Our logo.
Yes.
So the logo, I think, is so fucking bomb. Estela put it together, and she did a great job. So I'm very proud of her for that.
Thank you.
And I couldn't have never, because I'm not that there. But yes, we've been doing this for 2 years already, which I feel like it's been a lot less.
It feels long and not long at the same time.
At the same time?
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So that's where that's what's happened with us the past couple of weeks.
Rashes, weather, fucking
family shit,
just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Just shit, literal shit. But anyway, so like I said, today we're going to just kind of go over a few cases that we've seen online or that I've gone through or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna and then after
next week
we'll resume our regular programming.
Scheduled programming.
Yes. So
hopefully you guys still following us along.
Please. I'm so sorry about that. I really do appreciate everybody that listens and that sends us messages and that worries that whenever we post something, they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't know where you guys were. Like, I'm so sorry. You know, and you forget that when you start doing something like this and you reach out as much as you do. Because we're not big.
But a lot of people, you don't think that people care,
Exactly.
But when we get messages, everybody's like, oh my God, are you guys okay?
Yeah. And we're like,
oh shit,
and it's actually pretty awesome. I really appreciate that because I'm like, okay, not only somebody cares about me.
Yeah.
My family might not, but somebody does. Pero it's really crazy to we don't have a lot of followers. Obviously, we haven't grown a lot. We know we're trying our best because I'm a working mom of whatever, and Estela is still full-time, working provider as well. So it's really crazy to see like people that have millions and millions of followers, and then they're like, you don't see them for a little bit and you're like, oh, I wonder what happened to so-and-so.
Yeah.
And then you start like thinking, oh my gosh, you do start worrying about them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, are they okay?
Yeah.
Like when Bailey went to go have her surgery, I love her, the queen, and she went to go have surgery. I'm like, what happened to Bailey? And they're like, oh, she had surgery. I was like, oh, okay, she's fine. You know, but still, we appreciate everybody. And, you know, so we're going to, I don't have a fun fact about this person.
I don't think we usually have fun facts during current true crime stories.
So this is me. Let me tell y'all what I was doing.
Okay.
I was on TikTok, which, by the way, Estela already told me I had to stop getting used to being on it because según lo van a quitar.
I don't know. I got to see the belief.
I have to see because it's no way. But anyway, I'm on TikTok and all of a sudden I hear somebody talk about the Mexican Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. So apparently, so I started listening to the story. The news is saying it's in Spanish because it happened in Mexico, as I said.
Yeah.
So it is going to put us into 39-year-old pharmaceutical chemist. Okay.
Okay.
So this happened so it's Mexico City on April the 16th when the mom of a 17-year-old girl, her name is, or was, unfortunately, Maria Jose Castillo, she gets home and she finds a gentleman raping her daughter that's already dead.
Oh my God.
So when she walks in on him, she starts screaming and tries to make him stop. She doesn't realize that her daughter, 17-year-old, poor thing, is dead. So then she starts going at him and she's trying to get him to stop. And so this guy takes a knife and he starts stabbing
the mom.
So
my God.
This happened on April the 16th of this year. So this is apenas, sí. Y it seems like when she was trying to run away from him, porque luego él se le echó encima y le stabbed her on her leg, her neck, and her left lung, and in her pelvic area.
Oh my God.
So like he was like trying
kill her,
right?
Yeah.
So he runs, right? Pero the neighbor stopped him. And they hold them down hasta que llegó la policía.
Yeah.
In Mexico. And so this was in the Mexico City. So it turns out that the guy that I'm talking about se llama...
Pinche pendejo.
Bueno, además de cucaracha desgraciado. Se llama Miguel Cortez. He has another name, pero it's not even worth it. He's a piece of shit. So Miguel Cortez is the person who they find out. They take him to jail and everything. So they go and investigate, Estela. And it turns out that they said 17 to 20 skulls inside his house.
Oh.
That's not including the
any other areas that they searched.
Bodies and
just skulls.
Just skulls, and that's not including bodies. But according to people, they're victims because there was people that were turning up missing. Sus compañeros del trabajo, like his neighbors, like people were turning up missing girls, and nobody was paying any attention to it or didn't realize what was going on. So, like I said, he is a 39-year-old pharmaceutical chemist, and he would actually, which pissed me the fuck off, because he would actually he was always posting. He was posting
on social media.
Y ponía que he was at a riot para que no mataran animales.
Yeah,
or like
he was out
protesting que no vayan
and being part of campaigns and so on.
Campaigns and all of this stuff. And so next thing you know, all of a sudden they find, bodies and...
No, not bodies.
No. Skulls. No, they found bodies too.
También?
Pero they still haven't released a number of them, but just by counting, most of them were female. And they did, I think they did say that they had some sex workers in there as well. But there was just bodies everywhere apparently in his house.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but... The lady, la hermana de la señora, she's actually out there. And she...
Wait, se murió la señora? Did he end up killing her?
La señora no está muerta.
Oh, good,
but she is under very, very... she's like not doing well, basically. And they actually have a GoFundMe for her. Because she is, which I will just can, if you don't mind putting on the bottom of the notes, if anybody would like to help out, because the lady se quedó solita and she was just trying to help
defend
her daughter.
Mm-hmm. So, and then go through that, and then to find out that your daughter was already dead when you walked in.
Yeah, she was
so sad.
Well, I hope that they don't know. I hope that se llama Justice for Maria Jose, which was the daughter's name. And apparently, like, she's still in the ICU. And,
La mamá.
But la mamá is also battling stage 4 cancer at the same time. So she's not doing well. So everybody was like, which I thought that was amazing, Estela, that the neighbors were like, no, motherfucker.
We're going to get you.
We're going to make sure that you don't go.
Instead of just like, hey, let me call la policía. Hey, alguien se fugó.
No. They hold them down.
Eso, that's what I'm saying. Instead of them saying, just watch him leave and then just call the police and let them know. But they actually...
like, he's probably stabbing her and she's like... Screaming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that she called attention to herself.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that was the most craziest thing that it kind of caught my eye was the fact that you had the nerve to be like out there with the other woman, like talking about femicides and all this shit, and then you have 17
you were part of that. You're
17
the one
skulls or bodies
of women and other remains in your body. I mean, in your home.
So yeah, it looks like there's at least a dozen from but multiple reports are saying that there is at least 12 to 15. And then not only that's not including that there's more than 20 victims that they're saying that might be like linked to him.
Wow.
So they're not sure exactly how many, but the craziest thing is there's a video, which...
I'm going to pull it up real quick.
So there's a video, and the video enseña que están las cortinas, and they're all bloody, donde he was fighting her. Mm-hmm. Y se están, it was not pretty. But yeah. So people are really upset over this because they were saying that how is it that it took this long for anybody to find the bodies? That if it wasn't because he actually was out there, doing what he did, what the fuck? Why nobody knew about this? Like that this person, was doing this.
Was able to get away with it.
Was able to get away with all these girls and people that were like...
It's because when you pull him up, they have a picture of him in his like little lab coat and his tie.
His tie.
And he looks his little glasses. He looks very professional.
Sí. Uh-huh.
So the way that he looks... like helps up cover any suspicion of that he might be linked to any those type of crimes,
Pero it's still
like, ojos vemos, corazones no sabemos.
Hermana,
I'm telling you, bro.
Te estoy diciendo, bitch, because this man y a saber qué chingado le hizo a todos los bodies, like qué les hizo, like did he eat them? Like I don't even know.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is.
He did quite a bit, and I just thought it was crazy that the neighbors were like, oh no, motherfucker.
We're going to catch you.
We're going to catch you. So then I also was reading kind of just over the stuff that I was able to gather. And it looked like when they went into his house, there was at least 20 ID cards of missing women. So that's how they know that there was a minimum of 20 women. Yeah.
And there could be more, dude.
Bitch, I'm pretty sure. You imagine, like, what about those, like, sex workers and all of those that don't have their IDs on them?
Yeah.
And I don't know. But I just want to know... How and
why?
No, why?
Not even.
He's 39 years old. And it's like...
he llooks like... crispy clean.
Like he's educated.
Well, obviously
like,
he is. He's a chemist.
He's a chemist, and I don't know, but based on what I was going through, the guy had
she was his neighbor.
Yeah, she was his neighbor. Yeah. They were in the same like it was como casas, como complexes.
Yeah.
And I think that most of them were his neighbors. Like most of the girls that were missing.
Yeah, you did say,
were his neighbors. So, and at this point, like, they're just trying to figure out, and I understand the people because they're like, dude, how did the police?
Conocían, güey.
They knew him.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't gonna get away.
They were probably like, oh, bitch, we know you've been up to some shit.
Hell no. Imagínate, like, leave? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No, they pinned him down hasta que llegó la policía.
Very Richard Ramirez, ¿te acuerdas?
Very, yeah, that one's crazy. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the, there's some cases that kind of like scare you a little bit. Like even though you're kind of like, it's just
you've seen it or whatever.
But there's
you should watch. I know you've never seen it, and you said that you would watch it. But there's American Horror Story. They have a season with the case of Richard Ramirez. You should watch it. It's good.
No, I watched. You remember they did have like it was like a series on Netflix about him.
Yeah,
and that's what I think that's what I watched, and I think that's where I was kind of where I got the little bit of como
oh no, yeah, he was
and then the fact that he was from Texas, bitch.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? But anyway, that was my story that I came upon within these few. I mean, I've obviously read a lot, but this one was just kind of like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Damn, you just can't throw out the Mexican Jeffrey Dahmer out like that, you know?
There's a reason why they're saying it.
We have to keep up with this one. Hopefully we can turn it into an actual episode and go like more fully into details.
That's what they're calling it because they're saying, I guess I want to know, like, because Jeffrey Dahmer would cut them up, right? Y luego los guardaba like in cabinets and shit.
Yeah.
So did he have his in cabinets también?
No, I think it's just maybe the schools.
Because of the amount?
Because the schools, I think.
I mean, the young women that he was killing, he wasn't killing like ugly girls. He was killing some pretty like young women.
Yeah, and I think I read también that he was accused of killing one of his ex-girlfriends. So now.
Yeah. So
Quién sabe. But we'll see if we can. I guess
we'll
depending
definitely see what the outcome is. I'll keep an eye on it and see what I can find more, and then we'll bring it up at another time. But for sure, you guys, that one was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you got for us, sister?
Okay. So I was reading about this story, which it's actually really sad. Because, I mean, like we say, everything's so unnecessary. So my case, this story that I've been keeping up, it's in Arizona, in Tucson. Mm-hmm. So this happened in 2022. And the trial just concluded yesterday, I think. They gave the final verdict. So this man, his name is Murad Dervish, who was 46 at the time in 2022, was a graduate student at the University of Arizona in Tucson in their atmospheric sciences program.
Okay.
He had some issues or some disputes with some professors because he got a bad grade. Y como que no le pareció.
Okay.
So he ended up being banned in January of 2022. And then he was like officially expelled from the school, from the program. Mm-hmm. Now, a criminal complaint explained further that there were several reports of harassment and threats to the staff in the John W. Harshbarger, I think that's how you say it, in the building, which I think is where they held the that program that he was in, the atmospheric sciences program. Uh-huh. And those reports of harassment and threats were from November 2021 to January of 2022.
Okay.
All because of a bad grade, right?
Según.
So after he was expelled.
I mean, you can try again later. You can work harder. Okay.
So after he was expelled, it was reported that in February, a flyer was being passed around. I'm not sure if it was just in the building of the atmospheric sciences or just around the university. Mm-hmm. But it was a flyer that was being passed around with his picture, with Murad's picture or photo. And they were informed that if he was seen on campus or in the building or close to the building, que le hablaran a la policía, to call 911. Now, on October 5th of 2022, at around 2 p.m., someone from the Harshbarger building contacted police to let them know that a former student needed to be removed from the premises.
¿Qué estaba haciendo? Okay, so alguien lo miró and they contacted the authorities. Okay.
Yes. Sí. So while on the way, the police were like, okay, we're going to go on our way, right? Mm-hmm. Y so while they were on the way, they received another call and they were, notified that there had been a shooting at the university. And then after that call, another call came in letting them know that the shooter had fled from the scene.
Holy shit.
Now, according to witnesses, Murad was seen wearing a surgical mask and a baseball cap outside Thomas Meixner's office, he was 52. And then Thomas was the head of the Department of Hydrology and Atmospheric Sciences at the university. So, according to witnesses, Murad, which reminds me of that skincare Murad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's the same name, so. Mm-hmm. So Murad.
But we can't really, yeah. That would be weird.
Murad, now it sounds weird. Murad, según confronted Thomas outside, como que estaba esperando hasta que se acabaran las clases. Uh-huh. And then he followed him and he confronted him outside his office, I believe. And then he shot him.
What the fuck?
And he shot him 11 times.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then he fled, like I just mentioned, because when they called the police, they said that, the shooter had fled.
What?
And Thomas was transported to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. Now.
How old was he, you said?
52.
He was so young.
And Murad was 46 at the time.
Wait.
He was a graduate student. He was going for his master's.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Murad lo cacharon. He was caught like under 3 hours later by Arizona state troopers, 120 miles northwest of Tucson. And cuando lo capturaron, there was a loaded gun in his car, and additional ammunition. And then the ammunition was later matched to the shell casings found at the scene at the university. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, they, went to trial, and his defense attorney, in his closing argument for Murad, he told the jury that the crime was not premeditated and that Murad had several mental issues and didn't know what he was doing.
Ma'am, or sir, this man is going for his master's degree. He's 46 years old. So he's grown enough to know what the fuck he's doing. And
then he urged the jury to find Murad guilty of the lesser charge of second-degree murder, where he could be sent to a psychiatric hospital instead of sending him to prison.
No, not for 11 shots.
Yeah. Now, according to the prosecutor, Mark Hotchkiss, evidence showed that Murad had premeditated the murder because he bought a 9mm handgun a month before.
And he was wearing a mask and a baseball cap.
Now, jurors deliberated for less than 3 hours before reaching a verdict, where Murad was convicted of first-degree murder on May 21st, literally a couple of days ago, and could face up to life in prison. And he was also found guilty of other felony charges, such as aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, because I think one of the bullets ended up grazing somebody else.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. First-degree burglary.
11 times? That's a lot.
That he wanted to make sure.
He wanted to make sure he was dead.
Yeah.
That's crazy. For a bad grade.
First-degree burglary and 3 counts of endangerment. Well, yeah, because you're fucking,
Yeah.
Now his sentencing is scheduled for June 24th.
Oh, okay.
So like in a month, maybe?
In a month, yeah.
Now, according to CBS News, Thomas, he was considered an expert on desert water issues. Like that was, he earned his doctorate in hydrology in 1999, and he joined the faculty at the University of Arizona in 2005, and he actually became head of the department in 2019.
Wow.
And then, pa que venga este güey,
ni lo mate por nada.
He left behind his wife, and then I believe he had 2 sons también. And then cuando the news article was saying que when, the verdict was announced, estaba su wife, and she had on like a T-shirt of the Department of Hydrology and Atmospheric Sciences shirt. Yeah, in memory of her husband.
That's crazy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh. And I wonder what really happened. Obviously, el señor...
obviously, I don't know, but was it really the grade?
Maybe he just wasn't mentally well. How
bad was the grade? Was it gonna make or break him?
Was it not that there's any excuse for what he did, but some people just can't handle that type of...
No, but was it
rejection?
You got a 0 and
you're going to get kicked
out of the program, or you got a 0 and you're not going to get graduated?
Well, remember Jennifer Pan, that she killed her parents because she didn't want to tell them that she wasn't going to school?
Well, yeah, we've seen that, but Jennifer Pan is what, 20 something?
She was 19, 20.
This guy's 46.
Yeah. Well, I have to think that he literally wasn't. I think
I'm pretty sure
the
that they'll check
was
him. Yeah, they'll do checks on mental capacity and shit like that.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't. And then I was reading también at the end of this article, and I wanted to read up on it. But that a shooting at the university hadn't happened, and I don't know how long. And the last time that it happened, it was a nursing student that killed 3 professors, I believe, from the program too.
At the same
school. I don't know if it was early 2000s or the late 1990s, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. But and I don't want to lessen the fact of because I know there's some people lessen the fact that the grades are really important. I get that, but it's going to be okay. Like, you can try again.
It's not worth you
It's not
taking somebody.
worth-
You
yes.
literally, your life goes to the shitter anyway. Like, you're going to go to
Yeah.
prison for the rest of your life.
I'm pretty
instead of just
sure-
getting kicked out of school.
You get kicked out of school, whatever, but I'm pretty sure that it's not that intense. I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. I guess we just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens.
I just want to see
him.
what the sentencing's going to be.
Yeah.
Initially, they had said that there was the death penalty was on the table, but the article had a correction that said that the death penalty was not on the table.
Well, I have one small one.
Okay.
So I thought, why did I think about this? I don't know why it made me so sad. And I think that it made me sad because of the way that they portrayed the thing. So apparently in Abbeville, Louisiana, in a bank, they found a body in a chimney. So the body...
Wait. Banks have chimneys?
Apparently this
It's
is
an old school?
No, apparently this thing had been there, this body, this obviously now person had been there for 27 years.
So, but I'm thinking the structure of this
The
bank
structure was
has
like,
older.
This was back in the 1980s,
Okay,
like
that's
1800.
not that matters. I don't think I've ever seen a bank with a chimney. That's what I was just thinking.
So
Okay.
I mean, Louisiana, their banks might be structured a little bit different. I don't know. I mean, maybe back in the
maybe it's
older
not a
days
chain
or whatever.
bank, you know?
No. It just says it's a bank.
Yeah.
And so it became his tomb for 27 years.
Oh.
So we find out that it's a man until now, because when they originally found the body was wearing a dress.
Okay.
Okay. And it had like, but the features of the actual skull and the skeleton was bigger. So they were like, this was in 2011 is when they actually pulled the body out.
And it had been there
27 years.
27
so
years.
This body was already, ¿cómo se le dice?
well, like thoroughly it was decayed. It was
decayed.
just bones.
Yeah. So the remains were found in there. So when investigating, they're like, well, I mean, it has to be a woman because it was wearing
Like you said, a dress. Yeah.
Now this chimney is like small. Like, let me show you the image. It's like,
I get claustrophobic. Just
yeah,
looking at
it's
that.
like really small. So
it's really
I don't know
narrow.
what happened or whatever, but it turns out that finally when they were investigating, now that technology is a lot better, it was actually turned over to someone that was specializing in cases like that.
To like be able to identify the remains.
Yes. And it turns out that it was not a woman. It was a man. And this man had been missing since 1984. And he had vanished without a trace.
Okay.
His name was Joseph Schexnider. And Joseph was a Marine in the Army. And after just some time, he vanished.
Like nadie supo de él, yeah.
Nadie supo de él. So then everybody was like, well, at first they thought it was like a sex worker. Like they were putting all kinds of things of it could be. But when they went through the skull, the pelvis was bigger
Different
and
size,
different
yeah.
and stuff like that. So 6 days ago, they were able to bury him with the name already. They found out that he was
Joseph
Schexnider, and he was able to be buried in his
Finally.
home. Finally. Uh-huh.
What was I going to say? Do they know what happened, or they don't?
I don't think that they released that information. But the people that work on that it was called DNA Doe Project. So the Madison Police Department is the one that is actually ahead of that, and they opened the case again, and because the remains had been there so long, they were able to discover the person had been missing for 27 years.
Wow.
I don't know why the fact that he was wearing a dress bothered me, because of the fact that they couldn't have just said, oh, it could have been a man wearing a dress. No, they were like, it had to be
a woman,
or it had to be a sex worker or whoever. They even went as far as saying, there was a report of this. They went as far as saying that whoever was, I guess whoever the killer was had stuffed them in there because they thought it was a woman and it was a man. I'm like, what?
Well, do you think somebody killed him and then dumped his body in there, or do you think that he tried to climb in there himself?
I mean, it was a bank. Why would anybody? I mean, unless he was being robbed.
Maybe that's why they thought it was a woman también, because the space of the chimney is so small. Who else would fit in there?
Yeah, and this is him. I'm gonna show him to Estela. He's very.
Aww.
He's thin.
Yeah, he's very lean.
Lean, very lean.
Yeah.
And he was the one that had vanished for 27 years. And you imagine being
His
the family and they just be like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah.
He's
we
gone and
found
we don't
him.
know. ¿Qué le
found
pasó?
him, and we know he was, and imagine the death that he. I think personally that he was probably robbing. I'm not trying to say that he was a bad person, but maybe he was like robbing a bank or something in my imagination. Y que ya no se pudo salir, maybe because it's a bank.
Yeah, but I thought you said that maybe he got murdered.
They're saying that he might have gotten murdered. They really didn't release much information.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I don't think that there was much information to be said. But he was only 22 when he vanished in January of 1984. Yep. So I thought that was kind of
Interesting.
Very interesting, you would
And
think.
sad. But I'm glad that he was able to get his name back and actually be buried with his name on a tombstone.
That is correct.
Que su familia ya sabe de él.
Then yeah, so I just thought, oh wow, I just thought that was very impressive. And it says that the bones showed no trauma, like they don't know, but they don't even suspect.
Do you think
any
maybe
foul
he was
play.
drunk and he's just fucking around and they're
Maybe.
like,
I don't know, but the thing is, como dicen, the world may never know. And I'm going to show Estela the picture of the actual chimney, like the inside.
yeah, that's like, it looks like a chimney for a house.
like
a
my
house
chimney here from home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at with that. So let us know what you think about these cases. I know that we're probably everywhere and we're so sorry about that, but you know, we're trying our best to get back into it and just kind of feel the juices running again and, you know, just get that excitement and of doing this every week. And if you would like to keep following us, we appreciate you. And let us know what you think about the new logo.
Yes.
And if you would like to, please send us a message or comment on our Instagram. You can follow us at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. And you can download our episodes, share our podcasts, rate us. And yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone that has been listening. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.